What's up, party people? Waka, 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 waka. My name's Chris, and I'm a bookaholic. Okay, here's the deal. I've been out of control with my purchases. And basically, I put into play some credit that I had at my favorite bookstore. You know, I came in with a purpose. You know, I'm going to buy some books. And I left with a box. That seems to be a regular occurrence. So I came back with some great gems. And all of these, about 95%, 96% of these I don't already have. That's a big deal. And some of them I'm replacing. I'll explain. But without further ado, let's just jump right in, because I know you're here to see the books. That's what I'm here to see. That's why I do what I do. So let me just kind of course, delay a little further. So there's a difference between someone who's buying books to read them, which is me for sure, but also someone who buys books to collect them, which is me for sure. Differentiating between even some people who are buying books to sell them, which is really not me. I have a hard time actually getting rid of books. And in fact, if you were to come to my place and you saw a book that you liked, and I decided, yes, I'll let you, you say, can I borrow that book? First of all, I'd say, do you even know me? Then I would say, no, you can have the book if A, I have a duplicate, or B, I feel like I can go out and get that same book to replace it. Like the idea of loaning books is, I think, from the devil. Okay, let's move on. Let's do this. I'm so excited. All right, here we go. I don't know this author. I have not read this author, but I have two books that I was able to pick up. The one is super beat up. It's called, what is it called? The King's Land. Nope. The Kingless Land. But dude, look at that. That dragon is pissed. There's two heads. The problem is, it's so beat up. And you're saying, why did you buy it? Well, that's a good question. Well, one, again, it was pretty cheap. Two, if I find the cover somewhere else a little nicer, I'll replace it. But partly the reason I did is that they had the second book by Ed Greenwood in that series. It's a Band of Four novel, The Vacant Throne. So the two are right there next to each other. I think I got these pretty inexpensive. And I think that this one here is a first edition. So I thought, I'm going to read it. So I might as well read it, and then I can have it in the shelf. And in the event that I find this a little bit better copy, I'll replace that first one. So I don't know if you've read anything by Ed Greenwood. I have not. Not the greatest find of the century, but they're both hardcover. They both are okay. Funny enough that outside of the jacket, but the actual book is in better shape here, the first one, than even the second one. But Mario Puzo. He did The Godfather. I loved The Godfather. I read the first and the second in that series. I have the third. I'm hoping to read this year, but I found this. I didn't even know. Look at this. This is so cool, though. And I believe that... I got this for a steal of a deal, but J.P. Putnam's Sons, that's the publishing company, 1978. This is like pristine. And in the same vein, I got The Last Dawn, which I think is going to just replace a paperback copy that I have of this. So I love this guy's writing. Honestly, I think that his writing's outstanding. And if you've not read The Godfather, I think that Barnes & Noble came out with a special edition for the anniversary edition. It's pretty nice. This is a sweet first edition. Both of these copies are super pristine, super good. Okay, I can't remember if I already showed this, but I did recently get this, not at the bookstore haul, but this was a recent acquisition, Dying Inside by Silverberg, so I snagged it. And I don't know a lot about it, but I'm definitely interested in that. We'll give that a whirl. So if you've read anything by Silverberg, if that's where you'd start, let me know. Here's the first, Hades' Daughter. This is, these books are in perfect condition, honestly. I think that's first editions. They're put out by Tor. Here's the second book, The Druid Sword. It looks phenomenal. Look at that. Look at that precious deer. That's some serious antlerage going on there. That's a rack. All right, here's the third for the Troy game, Dark Witch Rising. I'm seeing a theme here with this deer does not look healthy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's a serious rack, but it looks a little janky here. Like, is that leg broken? Anyway, is she going to a ball? Do you know anything about Sarah Douglas? I'm not familiar, so I don't know. I'm not familiar. Okay, then this is weird. Throw a wrench into it. Where's that stag at? Instead, we got like a buffalo, some sort of, was that a water buffalo? Or maybe that's just this, who knows? I don't know what that thing is. Maybe it's just a cow, Chris. Maybe it is. Here's part of my problem. Again, me with my lighting issues. So I moved my camera because I felt like one of the last videos I put up was so bleached out, blown out by my lighting mishaps. So I've turned things around, and but I do notice that if I put the microphone in front of me, why do you care? You don't even care about any of this. Nobody cares. But I care. Every video I'm having some issue with either lighting or with my mic. So I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. I want to say thank you to the 6 people who do care. No, there's more. And I'm so grateful. And of course, right now, somebody in my family is trying to print something. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. What's up? Okay, first of all, I've noticed also that all of you out there, type A personality people, you are going to be a mess. Some of you obsessive, compulsive people will be like, what the freak is going on with your beard, Chris? And why aren't you looking at me? I'm looking at you now, okay? Sometimes I'm looking at myself in the camera. Anyway, the point is that there's very few people that seem to watch the videos, but I am such a neurotic, obsessive mess when it comes to lighting and sound. I want it to be perfect, but then I think to myself, even if the lighting and sound were perfect, there's things like these hairs are uneven that's going to completely wig out the people out there who are super like type A and neurotic as well. Like, you can't even listen to me because all you're doing is looking at the janky hair. Like, what is that? Where's he going? Where is he going? What? Come back and join the family. You're like, Chris, why is it split in the middle? I'll tell you why. Because in the middle, apparently no hair wants to grow. I mean, I wish I could say it's a cool thing and I hang little beads from it. But like, what's up? I meant to do that. This is my badass beard. No, this is basically, did he just reach puberty? What's happening? I've already brought this up in a previous book haul. Okay, this Acacia by David Anthony Durham. But the problem was I think I bought the first book and then the third book. And I realized, wait a minute, where's the second? But I went back to this store and they had the second. So I snagged it. So I got this trilogy. And I think it's called the Acacia Trilogy. So now I've got the 3. If you've read it, let me know. I have not, of course, read it as of yet, but I am interested to give it a go. So, I mean, just a bunch of chains holding that tree down. That's not what roots look like. This author, Ellie Badesset, I don't know anything about this author. Oh, I do know that they live in Cedar City, Utah, at least at the publication of this book. But this book is pretty nice. Tor Publications. Here's our little Mappy Poo. And then, third book of the Spell Song Cycle. Well, okay, apparently that's the third book. And this is the second book of a whole different cycle, the Korean Chronicles. What? I bought 2 books. But look at that map. That's pretty sweet in there. Anyway, I've seen, like, everywhere you go, this author's got books like in every thrift store in the world. I've never read anything by Modesset Jr. Where's the senior? For my Pratchett lovers, I found a few, I found a few first editions of hardcover books for Pratchett, and a couple will replace paperbacks. I have the paperback of Raising Steam, but this will replace it. I'm going to get rid of this little sticker kind of stuff. This is pretty nice condition. Thud. This is beautiful. This is like a perfect copy. And then Carpe Jugulum. Zuba Doopa Doo. This is nice. These are nice. These are nice. How you doing? And Night Watch. And yeah, pretty awesome actually. So I got those 4 hardcovers, and then I got Lords and Ladies. This is really nice paperback editions. I mean, it'll be great for reading. Whatevs. Eric. This is a really smaller one. And then Sorcery. I already have a lot of books by by Pratchett, and actually my best book for 2022 was the biography, A Life with Footnotes. So I'm a big fan of Pratchett's and his Discworld. So yeah, anytime I can replace out the paperbacks and get the nice first edition hardcover, for shizzle. That means yes in gangster language. I got this sweet looking. This was my big purchase for me. The slipcase it's very nice, and it's called The Monk and the Hangman's Daughter, and it's just gorgeous. So partly I kind of bought it just because of the way it looked and the feel and kind of the excellence of the quality. This definitely has old book flavor feel. Ambrose Bierce. So within the book are some really kind of interesting paintings. I mean, that pilgrim looks a little bit odd. I'm a big collector of Native American and Revolutionary War / Civil War time period books and memoirs and biographies. Especially with regards to the Native American stories. The time period is fascinating, and it's heartbreaking. I found this Harry Crisman. So buffalo hunters entered the area in violation of the Medicine Lodge Treaty, followed by cowboys and settlers who formed a vast economy based on grass and beef, and the beginning of prominent cattle ranchers such as the Westmoreland Hitch outfit. Chrisman details the history of the outlaws and ruffians of No Man's Land and trail drives to Dodge City and beyond. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is just interesting to me. The Fight of Michael McBride. It's a fantasy novel of the American West. So this is really bizarre. I don't even know what this is going to be, but a fantasy novel of the American West. So I'm probably either going to love this or literally hate it. So, Hearing footsteps just outside the door, Michael glanced up from the chessboard. He was a young man, just 20 years old, and a worried flush stained his nearly smooth cheeks as he waited for the door to open and admit the doctor. What? Wow. It wasn't really that riveting. All right, so Winding Stair. This is by Douglas C. Jones. He's the author of The Court Martial of George Armstrong Custer. If this is a tell of what's inside here, it's not going to go well. Someone's going to die. Then the best from out west, Chuck Woodbury, Tales Gathered Along the Back Roads of the West. These are all like really pretty amazing hardcover editions. They're first. This is a first edition. So sometimes what I've noticed over the years is that when I gather some of these books, especially with the Revolutionary War time period, kind of the great stories of some of the cowboy ruffians and the stagecoach robberies and some of the gangs that you had, Jesse James and Billy the Kid and all of that stuff. You juxtapose that then with, of course, just the settlers who are going out during these pioneer time periods trying to figure out how to survive and make a living. amidst great opposition. I don't know. So all of that stuff kind of interests me. And the last book that I did get was A River Runs Through It by Norman MacLean. It's just such a fine, nice hardcover edition. It's really a gorgeous copy, actually. So anyway, those are some of the things that I found. I wanted to share it with you because I need to put these away, and I can't do that until I've done the video. So anyway, if you found yourself some great books recently and you want to share that with me, I'd love to see it. Otherwise, just know that I'm glad you're here. Please feel free to join me in the comment section if you have some thoughts, reflections, or even on the Discord channel. And then I certainly have this cool little Amazon wish list if you want to explore that and feed my addiction. For those of you out there who also have found a new author that you love, let me know, because I'm always interested in finding the next great thing. So I appreciate it. I love this stuff, and I hope you do too.